stupidest thing I've ever done? I posted a video on my Instagram and it got people really riled up. Hi everyone, I am Colin and I'm a travel content creator and I show you guys what I get up to on my travels. Is this the most dangerous activity in Africa? Because a lot of my followers assured me that it definitely is, but I'm here to bust some myths. Recently we headed to Zambia and we did some cool activities, one of them being swimming in something called the Devil's Pool. What is the Devil's Pool, you might ask? Well, it's like a natural infinity pool on top of one of the largest waterfalls in the world. This waterfall is also one of the 7 natural wonders of the world and it is called mosi-oa-tunya, or otherwise known as Victoria Falls. So this activity of swimming on top of the falls has been around for ages and it might look and sound dangerous, but I'm here to tell you if you're doing it right, it's actually completely safe. And I know some of you are still thinking, lying at the top of a 100-meter drop with water gushing around the sides of you and hippos and crocodiles living in this river, the Zambezi, that feeds this waterfall, that's a no. That's a no from me. I'm here to tell you it isn't as bad as it looks or sounds. So let me run you through it so that maybe one day if you are in Livingstone in Zambia, you can go do it as well and you won't be so scared. So the first thing to note is that you actually can't do this activity like the whole year round. This is a seasonal activity and it's only done in the driest months. The cool thing is, if the Devil's Pool is a bit too crazy and it's not the dry season, you can actually go to another pool called the Angel's Pool. And we went there and it was completely dry when we went there. So this is the perfect pool to go to if it is a little bit wetter at the falls. So if you want to do this crazy experience, crazy fun, then obviously the first thing you need to do is get a guide, book through a company that is well known and trusted. We went through Green Safaris and it was just such a great experience. So I'm going to run you guys through how it went when we went on our experience and what happened and what we had to do. So we got to the area we had to be at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, went inside, had a safety briefing. We also had to fill out indemnity forms as you do with most experiences or adrenaline experiences like that. So that's nothing new to us. Always have to fill out a form. Filled out the form, we listened to the guide, what he was saying, and all the safety things that you need to remember. And then it was time to suit up. Only for the boat ride, you needed a life jacket. So get in the boat. There, you can also rent some water shoes, which all of us did because apparently the rocks are quite sharp and slippery. So I was like, don't want any of that. Got some water shoes and we got in a boat and we went to Livingstone Island, and that is where everything happens. And it's about a 5-minute boat ride from the mainland to Livingstone Island, which is an island right on the falls. When we got to Livingstone Island, the guide took our requests for lunch. So we were having like a brunch lunch, like a 11:30, 12 o'clock situation over there. So you actually get to eat on the island after your experience. But before your experience, you go on a little tour and they just walked us to the front of the falls, an area that was safe and dry where we could experience the beautiful views. There was a rainbow. We can see all the way down to the gorge. And the guide just told us where it was safe to sit or to stand for some photos. And we just checked that out. So that was a really nice intro to what we're going to be getting up to. Then after about half an hour, the real adventure begins. And obviously this is only for people that can swim. You don't have to be the best swimmer in the world, but you should be a pretty good swimmer because the first bit to get to the actual pools, you have to swim. So there are 2 parts of the Zambezi River that you need to cross. The first one is a bit of a longer one and the second one is quite quick, but there is a current that can pull you a little bit. So you kind of swim upstream and it kind of shifts you down if you're not the best swimmer like I did. But there is a safety rope at the end. So in case anything happens, there's always that safety and there's a guide in the front and there are 2 guides at the back and you go one at a time. So the little swims, it's not very far to go, and all in all, it doesn't take a lot of time. We were a big group though, so it took a little bit longer. Then once you get to the spot where the Devil's Falls is, the two guides get in first, and because we were a big group, they told us, okay, one at a time, guys, come and you sit on the edge, and we get a group shot first. So all of us went in together, which was really cool and fun, and we all got to sit on the lip. But it's so crazy, as soon as you get into the water, it kind of pushes you forward and you swim to the lip, but the lip stops you. So as long as a part of your body is underneath that area, like your legs, even when you're sitting, they tell you, please put your legs tightly against the lip of the rock, and you can sit there and it's fine. So we sat there, it was really cool, and then they let us go one at a time. So everyone got out, one person stayed. So then you get your turn to lie on the edge and look over the edge of the waterfall. Now, this is where a lot of people think, oh my goodness, this is so scary, because they only see the bit of you lying on the edge, but there's actually two guides holding your legs, and they're really safe because they are standing against that lip, and it is quite deep over there, so they are completely safe, and they are holding onto your legs while you're lying over there having the best time of your life. It is such a rush, it is such an amazing feeling. Then the second part is the guide standing on the top of that lip of those rocks, and he's making videos of you, and that's also a part where people like, oh my goodness, that guide is going to fall. But he really told us, he assured us that he is perfectly fine doing this. He has done it for many years and he's completely safe. So I believed him. He looked really comfortable and he would just walk up and down making videos of everyone. You can take your cameras and phones. They have a dry bag that one of the guides takes over. But at the end of the day, we did not use our cameras. We only gave the guide one phone between all of us in the group, and he made everyone's videos and photos on that one phone. Thank goodness they had enough space. And they made everyone's videos and photos with that, and we just airdropped it to each other afterwards. So the guide didn't have to get in and out taking different phones all the time. So after you get your 5 to 10 minutes on the edge looking over, everyone gets back out and you have to swim back the same way as though you came back to Livingstone Island, and then you get to relax, the adrenaline gets to settle down, you have some lunch, and that's it. We left at about 12:30, so the experience was from around 9 to 12:30, and it was genuinely so great. We had such a great experience, and I would definitely tell people to do this, even though most people on my Instagram and Facebook pages did not think it was a good idea. But don't knock it until you try it.